Hello everyone, welcome to this channel. My name is Ashish and I'm a junior doctor working in the UK. This is the part 2 of the interview series, and this is a special series which I've started to help all the doctors so that they can do really well in their interviews. I remember first coming to the UK and appearing for an interview for a job post, and I was really nervous because I had no idea on how to answer these questions. So in all of these videos I'll talk about how you should answer the commonly asked interview questions ideally and how you can perform well and score high in your interviews. Before starting on this video, I want to say that if you want to support my work on YouTube, please click on this like button, share this video as much as possible, and subscribe to this channel. Let's begin. Okay, so this video is going to be a bit of a reflective exercise. So I want you to get a piece of paper and a pen, and then I'll be asking you a question in the next slide, and I want you to answer that question in your own words and write down that answer on that paper. And once you're done, you can start watching this video again. I'll give you the ideal answer for the question, and then I'll want you to write down the answer following that structure which I give to you, and then you can reflect back on how the structure has improved your answer. If you do this and you follow all the steps, you'll be able to get maximum benefits out of this video. Alright, ready for the first question? Okay, so this is the question. Tell us about a scenario where you dealt with a difficult patient at work. So I want you to pause this video at this moment, and then I want you to write down your answer on that piece of paper, and once you're done you can continue watching this video further. Alright, so the ideal way to answer this question is by following the STAR structure. Let's talk about this STAR structure in a bit more detail. STAR is an acronym for situation, task, action, and result and reflection. Let's start with the situation part. So in this part of the structure, you will describe what the difficult scenario was, and you should aim to make the description concise but informative at the same time. You'll explain how the scenario began and why it was difficult for you. So a model answer to this part can be, I was called to see a patient who was being abusive in the A&E department. When I arrived at the scene, I could hear the patient shouting loudly, and I was really scared hearing this, as I was the only junior doctor who was available there and I had not dealt with aggressive patients before this. I was really scared, and that's why the scenario was difficult for me. Let's talk about the T part, which is the task part of this structure. So you should talk about what you did, how you did, and why you did it. So a model answer can be, when I arrived at the scene, I had to address two main issues. I had to console the patient, find the reasons for his behavior, and try to solve his problems, and at the same time I had to ensure that all of the staff members and all of the other patients were safe as well. The next part is the action part, and you'll talk about what goals did you aim to achieve and how you achieved them. So a model answer can be, I asked the senior A&E sister to look after the patients and staff around and call for security if the situation got worse. At the same time, I tried to calm the aggressive patient and I took them to a separate room. I asked another colleague of mine to stay beside me for personal safety. When I inquired further, I came to know that the patient had been waiting in A&E for quite a long time, and they couldn't get an idea about when they'll be seen by a doctor because of lack of communication with the staff in A&E. So I consoled the patient, I was apologetic, I listened to all their views and addressed their issues during all of my consultation or discussion with the patient. The next part is the result and reflection part, and you'll explain the ending of the scenario and conclude the scenario with a summary and reflect on how the situation affected you and what you learned from it. So model answer can be, after the discussion, the patient calmed down. He said that he felt that there was someone who was listening to him and he was happy on how the situation was dealt with. During the scenario, I showed the skills of leadership, effective communication, and patient safety at the level of a junior doctor. When I reflect upon this scenario, I learned how misunderstanding and lack of communication can escalate into a big issue, and how effective listening can help in sorting out problems in such scenarios where we have to deal with aggressive patients. So now I want you to write down your own answer, and then you should reflect on how the structure has changed your answer. And by doing this, you'll be able to get the maximum benefits out of this video. So the complete model answer is this. I was called to see a patient who was being abusive and aggressive in A&E department. As I arrived there, I could see him shouting loudly, which scared me a lot. As I was the only junior doctor around and I had not dealt with aggressive patients before, the situation was really difficult for me. As I arrived in the A&E, I had to address two main issues. I had to console the patient, find the reasons for his behavior, and try to solve his problem. At the same time, I had to ensure that other patients and other staff members are safe. I asked the senior A&E sister to look after the patients and staff around and call for security if the situation worsened. At the same time, to calm down the patient, I took them to a separate room. I asked another colleague of mine to stay beside me for personal safety. I inquired about the problems of the patient. I tried to console them, listen to their views, and address their issues during the discussion. And it was found that the patient had been waiting for a very long time in A&E before he was seen, and he could not get an idea about when he'll be seen due to lack of communication with the staff. After the discussion, the patient calmed down. He said that he felt that there was someone who was listening to them, and he was very happy on how the situation was dealt with. During the scenario, I showed the qualities of effective communication, leadership, and patient safety at the level of a junior doctor. And as I reflect upon the scenario, I learned how lack of communication and misunderstanding can escalate into major problems. And I also learned that how effective listening and effective communication can help in sorting out such problems very easily. Alright, so that is all for this video. I hope that you gained some knowledge from this video and you'll try to implement the STAR structure when you answer this question. I will see you in the next part of the interview series soon. Please like this video, share this video with your friends, and subscribe to this channel so that a lot of other doctors can get help from these videos as well. I will see you soon. Thanks a lot for watching this video.